And do we have any questions or do we have any requests before we get moving? No, we're just excited to work our lymph. Hi, Lauren. Welcome. Super, super. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put you on mute. If you need me, if you're new and you don't know the rules of the game, you can always unmute yourself because I probably won't see the chat when we're flowing. So if you need something, go ahead and unmute. So happy everybody's here. Okay, so let's get started. Let me just tap this down a smidge more. Okay, cool. All right. How do we floss? Let's figure that out first. Let's come into tabletop and land one elbow under your armpit and then the other elbow so that you're in a tabletop with forearms down. Knees are a little bit wider than your pelvis. Tuck your toes if you like for leverage. Now pull your elbows back against your mat. Keep pulling your elbows back so you feel the underarm and into the middle back engage. You want to engage your tissue as we begin to elongate it. So we're going to slide your pelvis back. Once you hit the end of your range, you're going to come on forward, relaxing to come forward. Pull your elbows back. Keep pulling your elbows back. As you pull your elbows back in space, you're going to feel that nice, gentle engagement or yanking on the tissue. As we pull back, that pulls on the tissue in a way that starts to reconfigure the fascial fibers, manipulating our fascial network so that there's more glide, slide, pliability, functionality, lubrication, circulation. So those are our aims. You can imagine when the fascia gets dense in any area, it's causing disruption of fluid flow and chi flow and electricity flow. And or at the nodal clusters where we have nodes, there could be compression if we have densified fascia. So as we're working our nodes this month, our lymph nodes, we're thinking about decompressing the areas in which the lymph nodes cluster. And right now, we're in our upper body, we're going to move to lower body. This is how we learn how to floss. And we're working the nodes in the armpit space as well as impacting the tissue that's related to the collarbone area. We've been talking this month about how we want to work the terminus. This is where the lymph fluid is reincorporated into the circulation system. So we want to make sure that the fascia around our collarbone space is not compressing the vessels and the ducts in that area. Okay, very nice. Let's slide our forearms together so that our elbows are pretty close, if not kissing. And then everybody lift the upper back up, back the heart towards the sky. Keep plugging down with your forearms. And then rainbow arc over to the right and listen with your right ear. It's almost like thread the needle, we're going into a micro twist here. Inhale, back through center, plug down with your forearms. That's the engagement part. And then the flossing part is leaning over to the left on the second side. Inhale, back through center, plug down with your forearms, lift up with the back of the heart, leaning yourself over right. Good, we'll just tick-tock back and forth for a few rounds. Still plugging with the forearms the whole time, and make sure you give yourself that arc, the up and over so we don't crunch into our shoulder head. That's it, very nice. Lower rib cage is gently knitting together. There's a sweet hug of the tissue, the viscera up towards the spine, so your low back feels supported here, and that we're not kind of dumping into our lumbar. Let's go for a last round until you're even. Very nice, everyone. I see you. Well done. Good, and then land your hands underneath your shoulder heads. We'll go ahead and float the knees, just hovering off the floor. Set your shoulders down away from your ears for 5. Find your breath, and 4, very nice, and 3, 2, basta. Squatty dog, super bend at the knees. Let your spine extend up and back. Pelvis is trying to soften and widen here in the sits bones. The Achilles tendon are getting a nice elongation here as you bend your knees nice and deep. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, start to walk through your feet, finding your calves. In this summer heat, this is definitely something that is getting tight on me. I don't know about you, but definitely a lot of fluid retention happening in the lower leg more than normal in the humidity. Inhale high onto your toes.
This time legs are straight-ish, but always a micro bend in your knees. Let your belly vacuum out. So we're starting to activate the tissue, the viscera that's surrounding the nodes in the abdominal cavity. Take another inhale. And then find your pubic bone, pull it towards your nose first and start to wave your spine out to your plank. You might have to adjust your length here. Mine was too short. Soften your elbows, pull your shoulders out of your ears and tap your knees for 3. Keep your pelvis exactly where it is. Find the space above your pubic bone and feel like it's hovering. Last one, knees tap to earth. This time, up dog modification. Pull your knees forward against the mat. Pull your hands backwards, open through your chest. Gorgeous, everyone, very nice. Like a yawn, start to poke your chin up and out of your face to get the nodes in the front of the throat, if it's okay for your neck. Take another inhale here. Exhale, look down. Squatty dog, one more time, pull your hips up and back, sitting nice and deep into your knees. Good, very nice. Extend through your legs, lift high onto your toes. Feel the crease of the metatarsal starting to wake up the ankle. Let your belly vacuum up to the spine and then start to roll through your spine, waving out to your plank. Shoulders pull back away from your ears, pause and stay. This time you have your left knee for 3 taps. Keep the hover above your pubic bone and 2. Good job, nice, Angela. And 1, this time push yourself back, find your right calf. Your right knee has a little bit of softness, but plugging through your right heel as you push the ball of the right foot into the ground. Take 1 more breath here. And then we're gonna step our left leg all the way through to low lunge. If you have blocks, grab them. If you have something like blocks, like 2 water bottles, great, 2 big books, grab them now, take your time. And then front heel's gonna pull back like you're trying to swoosh your heel into the ground and back. That's gonna light up your hammy. We wanna keep our hamstring engaged as we slide our pelvis back. Very nice, relax to come forward, heel pulls back, keep pulling back. So everyone is always like, my hip flexors feel yucky or my hip flexors feel tight. Oftentimes it's the tissue in the back of the leg causing a little disruption in the front of the pelvis. So even though we're aiming to work the nodes and the crease of the hip, oftentimes the density in the back of the legs is impacting the tissue in the front of the pelvis. So here we go, starting here foundationally, where our tissue is often the most dense, which is in the back of the leg for about 98% of the population. We have density in the back of our hamstrings, our dense fascia, if we want to be more specific. Good, watching our range here, don't have to go super far, just being super mindful and curious about the journey as you pull your heel back and slide yourself back. The thing about flossing is that you're engaging your tissue for the full range of motion that you're working. So we're not just working at the end of the range like classically we tend to do, but we're working the whole range of motion as we go. If we're also thinking about the nodes that cluster behind the knee, this is a great way to impact and create space behind the knee for that lymph fluid to flow through the nodes. Good. Sometimes we can get kind of congested behind the knee and the hamstring tissue can be a root cause of that. Let's spin our foot out into a micro first position. So you have a tiny bit of external rotation and we'll have 3 nice and juicy, nice and thick. Maybe turn up your attention, your awareness in the back of the leg, maybe turning up your resistance just a tiny bit, like you're moving through mud, a thicker mud now. Gorgeous, so well done. Very nice, and last one. Very good, let's unleash our blocks at the top of the mat for a sec. Scoot your right leg underneath you, keep track of your left leg, and send it high to the sky, basketing both hands behind your left knee pit. Take your heel away towards the top of your mat. Keep kicking your heel away and then gently sliding your toes towards your nose for 3 baby pulses. It's not about how far you go, but this time I'm actually going to ask you to straighten your knee so that we're starting to work the tissue in the back of the leg or behind the knee. And we're also creating compression as we slide the leg in, we're creating compression in the front of the left hip. As we release the compression, fluid can flow. It's a pressurized system. It's literally hydraulics, which is cool. Okay, left leg crosses over your right knee for number 4. Slide your hands under and grab your right knee pit now. Double check that your left knee isn't overly externally rotated, but is pointing towards your left shoulder just a tiny bit. It's going to give you more access to the gluteal fan. Both hands underneath your right knee pit. Kick away with your left foot into your right knee to feel the outer left hip light up. Now keep it lit and then start to drag your legs in towards your chest, number 4, but flossy style. Relax the legs back over the pelvis so arms go straight. Now kick out with your left foot. Keep kicking out with your left foot as you drag the legs in towards the chest. Very nice. Some of us are going to want to lift up and out. So pulling our shoulder girdle up towards our thighs or our leg structure and making a small ball with the body. Getting a lot of compression here in the front of the pelvis, which is great. Release. We're stimulating the nodes, the frontal hip crease, curling up and in, shoulders out of ears. Ears go wide to the side, jaw goes wide to the side. Relax your head down, legs go away. You have 2 more times to curl up, squeezing up and in. And then relax your head down, legs go away. Last one, curling up, belly comes down towards the spine, nice and gentle here. Good, relax your head down, land your right foot on the floor, excuse me. And then if you have something, like I have this couch right here, maybe you have a bed or a couch, I'm gonna put my right foot on the couch. Also, you can grab your blocks, double stack them, and put them underneath your right foot, That's it, Now, we're still on the left leg, so left leg's crossed over, both hands behind your left knee. Kick out with your left knee, keep kicking out with your left knee, and then use your hands to glide the knee inwards the chest. The knee is resisting out here. Relax to come out, kick out, hands are on the outside, keep kicking out, and knee is being dragged in by the hands. The hands win, but your outer glutes win the most because you get a floss. Knee kicks out, keep kicking out. Starting to change the gluteal fan. We're using this resistance to manipulate the tissue that wraps up and over towards the top of the hip that can then congest the front of the pelvis. Here we go for 2 more reps. Let's go 3 more. Since we're here and all set up. Yeah. And this bottom foot block setup is just aiding our reach so that our legs are a little bit closer to our arms. Nicely done. Good. Now keep your left knee folded in towards your chest. Switch your hands. Hands on the inside of your left knee. Are you with me? Hands on the inside of the left knee. Now squeeze your knee towards your heart as if there's a golden thread connected knee and heart together. Push your leg away. Good. Knee hugs in. Squeeze the knee in. Keep squeezing in. Now we're starting to work the nodes in the front of the pelvis. Ooh la la, waking up that space. Starting to change the tissue of the hip flexor complex. Squeeze your knee in towards your heart. Keep squeezing in. We have pectineus. You can say it. Pectineus. We have sartorius. We have psoas. We have tensor fascia lata, maybe the most fun to say. Here we go. I'm just starting to open up that space. Let's go for 5 more, nice and juicy. If you're a Chinese medicine curious person, this is kidney channel. When we were doing the outside, we're doing the balance of kidney, which is bladder. Kidney and bladder go together. They make the water element a good element and meridians to work on if we're trying to move lymph, right? Working bladder channel really helps get the swelling out of the lower leg, because if we take the congestion out of the upper leg, the lower leg then has a place to deposit its fluid to, correct? There's a dam at the knee. If there's congestion at the knee, if there's congestion in the thigh, the lower leg fluid has nowhere to go. Capiche? Makes sense? Yeah, okay, last one to push the knee out and away, very nice. Release the left leg back up to the sky. One more time for your little kickaways. Kick away with your heel and slide the toes in towards the nose for 3. Opening through the back of the knee and 2. Maybe it feels a little bit different. Feel like your femur head is dropping down and back into the floor. So it's really dropping back into the hip socket. Last one, very nice. If your blocks are there, watch out. Just curl yourself up on a diagonal and we'll take 4 rock and rolls. This is like, I don't know why this makes me think of a guitar, but the guitar head is your heel pulling you up and forward, pulling you up and forward. Now across your legs, send yourself up a bit back. You can move your blocks to the side and then take a downward dog, walking through your heels. Walk your feet, take a mini walk, feet to your hands. We're gonna take a halfway up lift, land your feet at hip distance, let the blood come out of your head, and then exhale, soften yourself forward. You can have your blocks here under your hands if you need to. Let your head go and shake out. Notice your right leg, notice your left leg, sway your pelvis right and left. We have a whole second side to go, don't worry. We're gonna get there. Let's roll up first to stand though, curling through your spine, stacking your vertebra like a string of pearls. As your heart makes it over your chest, you're pulling your shoulders back. Reach your arms above your head. You can't see me, but no big deal. You can clasp your thumbs. Pull your rib cage off your waistline. Plug your hip bones down into your feet, feet into the floor, and extend your spine for 5. Take a breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Look up, release your elbows, bend your knees, open through your chest and back bend to peel yourself down towards the floor. So just like a very easy slide to the floor. Step yourself back, find your long hind plank. Pause here and stay, tap both knees. Pull your hands back, pull your heart forward, up dog mod. You got it. Inhale yourself up, back and through. Thread it back to downward dog. Walking through your heels, take a moment here. Yeah, finding your calves. Should we work our calves today? We already did a little, but we're gonna do more. Lift yourself up, let your belly vacuum out. Pull your pubic bone towards your nose, roll through your spine. Nice long line here. This time we're gonna tap our right knee for 3. Little hover above your pubic bone and 2, shoulders out of your ears. And 1, this time grabbing through the left heel, plugging down through the left heel, micro bend in your left knee, always protect the joint, and then find a little pressure through the ball of the left foot and sway your pelvis a little bit. Find your left calf. Find your breath again if you've lost it. Very nice. And then we have our right leg, stepping on forward, second side. Lowering your back knee to the ground. Good, grab your blocks. Good, and let's add a little interlude here for the right hip flexors, or the left hip flexors, since we just worked that whole side. Give me a little seaweed sway, right and left, nothing special, make it your own, but then start to push your back foot into the mat, left foot into the mat to give a little extra expression into the left hip flexor space. Yeah, a final release for those nodes in the front of the hip crease on the left side. Good, we'll do that on the right, don't worry. Pull your front heel back, here we go, hamstring right side. The right heel is trying to grab the mat like you're making a little groove in the sand if you're at the beach. We all should be at the beach, right, in summer. What if we could be at the beach every day? We were talking about Thailand last night. I was with my girls and we're saying how you can get a massage every day for $5 to $10. It's like, wow, if you could have a massage every day for 30 days straight, I feel like I would be a different person. A little clean eating, soaking in the ocean. We're like, okay, let's go to Thailand. Pull your front heel back, keep pulling back, sitting yourself back. Nice and juicy here. Don't lose sight of the journey. Be with your hamstring through the whole range, not just at the end. Even the end is that seductive sensitivity, sensational zone. Good, here we go, a couple more.
Noticing if you can remember the left leg versus the right, which feels tighter or more dense to you. When you start flossing, you start to getting to know the areas of your body where your fascia is more dense. And you can sense that through the quality of the resistance as you pull back, or feeling like there's any kind of roadblock as you pull back. You have 2 more in neutral, and then we'll go into external rotation. Very nicely done. Good, everybody. Good, and a little external front foot goes into a micro first position if you were in ballet class or bar class, turning your toes over to the right side, finding the lateral hamstring now, the most dense area. This is bladder channel. So as we're pumping back, imagine any stagnant fluid in the lower leg is being pulsed up towards the pelvis. I'm really flexing my foot today because my calves need some attention. If you want to do that, you can always, if you have extra blocks, like Dan has a million blocks, you can wedge a block under your foot to give you more calf action. It's a little bit, it's not the nicest, but it's nice after. I can tell you that much. You have 2 more for nice and juicy, working the outer line of the hammy. Beautifully done. Good, Phil. And Minka's here too. My whole California crew. Oh my gosh, what a treasure. Okay, back leg, left leg, tuck it under. Come onto your back. You can have your blocks ready on the left side if you use them on the first side. And then we'll come on into number 4. Yeah, that's it. Both hands weave under the left knee pit now. Your legs are in number 4 with flexed feet. Make sure your right knee has a little bit of internal rotation towards your right shoulder. Kick out with your right foot. Here we go. Find the gluteal fan on the right side of your body as you curl your legs in towards your chest. Relax to come back over the pelvis with your legs. Kick out with your ankle. Keep kicking out, dragging legs in. Good. Spreading the tissue on the outer right hip. If you're ready for it and if it feels good to you, curling in, small ball, shoulders out of ears. Belly goes to spine, a little bit of core work as you lift up and squeeze in, using the resistance factor to change the tissue, but also we're getting strength trained in our torso and in our arms as we do this floss, curling yourself up and in. Good. We've been talking about how just the mechanism of flossing, this use of compression, the pulsing in and the release, will create a mechanism of fluid flow. So it increases the flush of fluid just by doing this kind of squeeze and hold and then a release. Whoosh, the fluid gets to flow. Very cool. So just by doing this, you're supporting your lymph system. And right now we're working the lymph nodes in the abdominal cavity, of course, as we're compressing in. Let's go for 2 more. Squeezing in, compressing the nodes, the cluster of the front of the pelvis as well. And right in the groin, right? This tissue is working the outside of the hip, but it directly impacts the interior of the groin. And we're going to do that when we do the balance. This is gallbladder, we're going to do liver. Good. Now we're going to land our foot either on your coffee table, your couch, your bed, whatever you have nearby, or double stack of blocks. Both hands behind your right knee. Sorry, we're working right side. Both hands basket outside of the right knee. Kick out with your right knee. Keep your right foot flexed, please, and then drive the right knee towards your heart. Baby, you can drive my car. Kick out with your right knee, and then grab the knee in towards the chest. I never say drive. I don't know. That's what happened. And then we sang a Beatles song. I love that song. Curl your knee in towards your heart and then release. Good. You have about 5 more, finishing off the gluteal fan work. Can you sense how this tissue from the outside, from the very back of your pelvis, wraps around to the front? Yeah, it's all interconnected. Very nice. And even from the interior, like you could even sense the very back of the tissue at the back of the pelvis, how it's still interrelated from the inside and connecting to the front. Some of us have a really strong sense of interoception, that's knowing your body from the inside. Some of us have a really strong sense of exteroception, as we know how we relate to other and space and time. One more time, curling the knee in towards the heart. Good. Ooh la la, I feel that burn on the outside of my pelvis. Now, your right knee squeezes in, both hands on the inside, please. Keep squeezing your right knee towards your chest as you use your hands to push the knee away. Very nice. Good. Relax. Knee comes towards your heart. Keep curling the knee in towards the heart as the hands push the leg away. You can do this one-handed too if it feels better, whichever hand works for you. It's a little bit easier on your arms. And of course, if you need even more support, you can put a big bolster, a big pillow behind your shoulders, and that will give you more reach to your knee. Sorry, I didn't say that on the first side. You have 2 more times. Ooh, yeah, finding that elongation of the flexors. This is a very safe way to work our hip flexors without overstretching them, because these guys are so delicate. Think about the difference between this tissue and the tissue in the back of your pelvis, a lot more thick, a lot more dense. The back of our body is meant to be protective. The front of the body is vulnerable and delicate, receptive. This is your yin side. Good. I forgot our little guitar string moves. Hands behind your right knee pit. Kick away with your right heel. 3 little pulses in towards your heart for 3. Here we go. And pulsing in, flex hard. You can really straighten your knee on this one if you don't have any knee problems. Last one. Very nice. Good. We're going to add an interlude, a little quad for both sides. Kick up with your right toes high to the sky. Bring your left foot on top. Bring your left foot on top of your right ankle. Keep kicking up with your right ankle to engage your quad. So your right quad should be lit up. And then your left foot is going to smush that other foot down, folding at the right knee. That's your pivot point. Right quad is engaged. Left foot overcomes the resistance and presses the right foot down. And now we can go a little bit faster for our heart rate and pumping fluid from the legs up into the pelvis for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with me. Turn your toes over to the left side of your body, so towards your midline. Here we go. It's 5, just changing the angle. And 4, and 3. Excellent, everyone. So nice. And 2. Good, Sally. And 1. Toes turn to the outside of your body 2 inches. It's 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Knees to your chest. Relax your legs. Ooh la la. Very nice. Yeah, let's send both legs up and then shake them out. Shake, 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 shake. Very nice. And if your blocks are in the way, slide them out of the way. Both feet wide out to the outside of your mat and just take a windshield wiper. Arms can be at your sides or in a cactus. Nice little windshield wiper. You know what's coming next. Second leg, first leg to second leg. Here we go. Hands behind your left knee pit. Kick up with your left foot. Right foot on top. Arms are straight. Your thigh is trying to point straight up to the sky. It'll be a little bit angled, but the idea is that your leg is far away from your pelvis as much as possible. Think about how the quad tissue, you're kicking up with your left foot, your right foot smushes you down. The quad tissue is relating up towards the inguinal crease. That's the crease between your pelvis and your thigh. You can feel, or maybe not feel, maybe you can imagine with your mind's eye how the tissue relays right up to the front of the pelvis. So if our quad is congested, it's probably creating a little yank on the nodes that sit at the front of the hip. Good, that's nice. Let's turn our toes over to the midline. We have 5, and 4, turn it up a notch, and 3, little heart rate, and 2, good job, and 1, turn your toes to the outside, 5 more, that's it, and 5, you got this, 4, and 3, and 2, basta, knees to your heart, good job, relax.
Ooh la la. Very well done. Good. Your left foot's going down. Your right leg comes up. You have one more round of little heel kicks. Kick away, dragging the toes towards the nose for 3 and 2 and 1. And I want to add one more interlude. Both legs high to the sky, both hands on the inside of your legs. Hands on the inside. You can grab from the front or you can reach around and grab the inside from the back. See what leverage you like better. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight, your choice. Both knees are magnetized in like your knees are trying to kiss. Your hands are the parents and pulling the kids apart. Not nice. Here we go. Squeeze your knees in. Keep squeezing in. This is liver channel. We're starting to open up the tissue around the groin. We have nodes right up there in the groin. Mamma mia. Yes. Good. Squeeze in with your knees. Keep squeezing in. If you want a little core work, you're going to peekaboo your chest up. Looking through your legs. Protect your neck by curling your chin in a smidge. And keep squeezing your belly down towards your spine. Pulsing in with your knees. You resist on the way out. You relax on the way in. Resist on the way out. Let's go for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Very nice. Relax, little kind of like soft, happy baby vibe, and rotate your ankles. Nice. Reverse your circles. That's it. And then land your feet one more time. Wide to the side, off your mat, please, so that you have space. And then dropping your knee and taking the other side. Good. Once one knee's towards the midline, you can push the top of the hip point up towards the sky. So push down through the heel and lift the pelvis up. Good. Switch sides. I have my right knee, so let's all go right knee just to get together. Push your right heel down, start to push your right hip point towards the sky, spreading the tissue in the front of the pelvis. Another pretty safe way, if you have tendonitis in your hip flexors, to give some relief to that tissue without overstretching. If you do have tendonitis here, you want to be nice and gentle. Here we go. One more time. Right knee goes in, right hip point comes up. Plugging through your right heel, flexing through your feet to protect your knees, and then switcheroo. Plugging down with a flex left foot, lifting your left hip point. Very nice. Now we're going to slide our hands behind our right leg one more time to just take our guitar rolls up and back and up and back. If you're new here, you'll get used to my weird language. Give yourself a plank one more time. Find your long line plank. Soften your elbows. Look forward if you can. Tap your knees for 3 and 2. Knees find earth. Pull your hands backward. Open through your front body, but squeeze it like a yawn at the same time. One more time to poke your chin up, opening the nose in the front of the throat, your tonsils, the terminus. One more inhale. Look down. Pull your booty up and back. Downward dog. Walk through your heels. Very nicely done. Good. Bend your knees, super squatty dog. Send yourself out to a plank one more time. This time, drift yourself all the way down to your belly, super slow. Slide your elbows underneath you for Sphinx. And then pull your heart up and through as you pull your elbows back. Shoulders are wide, collarbones big, nice big inhale. And then sinky chest, sinky shoulders, let them slide towards your heart. Turn your nose towards your heart. And then one more time. Pull your pubic bone down and forward, push your back foot into the ground, start to lift your heart up and through. Now this time, if it's okay for your neck, you're going to do the same chin poke. Poke your chin up and through. Ooh, and you can say ooh with your mouth. Little fish face. One more time, inhale, and then exhale, release. Land your hands at your sides, push yourself up. We're going to go left leg forward. Grab your blocks once again, and then we're going to release our right hip flexors. Push down with your right foot into the floor, and then take your easy seaweed sway. I'm widening my blocks, so I have some nice wiggle room to take my figure 8 flow. Good, Pratik. Maybe see you tomorrow at Sky Tank.
Who's in the city wants to come take class? That'd be fun. Phil, maybe we'll see you. It's kind of hot though, so everybody be careful if you're traveling around. Okay, take a nice big inhale here. And then we're gonna walk our left foot, this is the left foot in the front, to the outside, to the left. So both arms on the inside of your left foot. One more set of hamstrings, a little bit quicker. Now we're gonna work the tissue right at the top of the groin once again, but a little bit more into the hamstring, not just the adductors. Pulling the front heel back as you slide yourself back. So getting into the nodes that are more interior to the pelvis now, because this tissue goes right up into the hip joint. Good, into the pelvic bowl. Traveling into the pelvic bowl. Did anyone watch Magic School Bus? The one episode where she goes inside the body. I feel like that was like such a big moment for me when I was a kid. That was the coolest Magic School Bus to me, and like seeing the inside of the body that way was very exciting. So now we need an updated version of that with fascia and getting to see a more interior view of the body would be cool. Then we can include the lymph system as well, residing within the fascial network. Let's go for one more. So fun. Okay, we have a little calf work to go. Let's bring our left foot back to neutral. Send yourself up into your pyramid shape, a little shorter than normal. And then you're going to start to pull your front heel back like we have in all of our hamstrings. Now the back knee is the motor. It bends to bring your booty back in space. Exactly right. You got it. Bend your back knee, Ange. Yes, thank you. And then come on forward again towards your front foot. Good, PD, and then sit into your back knee, sit your booty back, little imaginary chair behind you. Exactly right. Okay, here we go, pulling the front heel back. Let's go for two more. And then we're gonna walk this out because I forgot to tell us to grab a pillow or a blanket, or we can roll up the top of our mat. That's gonna work too, because we're gonna get to the nodes at the back of the knee and into the calf, or we're gonna work the fluid in the calf. We don't have that many nodes in the lower leg, but we got to pump the fluid. There's lots of special veins in the calf that contract in an extra manner compared to the other veins, and the vein contraction, the venous contraction helps pump fluid up the lower leg too. So thank you to those special veins in the lower leg. Okay, grab a roll of like a thick towel or a pillow that you can wedge your foot up on. I'm gonna grab this pillow. Take your time, you're not going to miss out. I'm going to fold this over and I'm going to wedge my left toes onto the pillow or the towel roll, or you can roll up your mat even. Hands are still on your blocks. And if you need extra height, grab a stool, put your hands on the stool. Oh, almost fell over. And then push down with the ball of your left foot, like you mean business. That little wedge is going to give us a little more connection to the tissue in the back of the calf. Now keep pushing the ball of the left foot down as you sit back into your pyramid. Ooh la la, good job, Ange, very nice. You guys got it. Well done, team. You have four more. Take your time. It's a little shorter stance. If you need to adjust your stance, no problem. Good job, Beth. Yes, Lauren. Yes, double Lauren. 2 Laurens today. Back foot, let's keep it on the ground today so we stay nice and grounded. Good, Erin. Good, Daisy. Yeah. Everybody good. Mary, yes. Good, Pratik. Everyone fab. Well done. If I didn't say your name, I saw you. Okay, release your foot off of your little blanket setup and then bring your blocks forward. Easy forward bend. Hands into your blocks, shake it out. Soft knees, please. And then let's go ahead and stack our spine. Roll yourself up. Hands on your hips, just check it out. Soft knees but strong feet into the ground. Let your crown sit over your heart. Find a breath. Go ahead and then exhale, start to roll yourself back down. Maybe your left foot's really planting into the floor better. Okay, step your left leg back. Walk your right foot over to the right a little bit so that you're in dragon shaped lunge. Wide lunge. Pull your front heel back, slide yourself back, getting into the interior hamstrings. Very nice. That's it. And then tone your nervous system down because that was a biggie in the calf work, right? Can be a little bit fictitious to the system. Good, and then as the front nodes are getting a compression job here, the back nodes in the front of the pelvis are getting an elongation. Good, pumping the fluid from the leg up into the pelvis. From the pelvis, it travels up the torso, and it'll go near the heart, underneath the collarbones where our thoracic and lymphatic ducts lie, but the right lymphatic duct's not taking the lower body fluid. The left side's taking it all. Kind of cool. It takes the right arm and the right side of the head and the neck. Not to diminish the lymphatic duct. We like it too. Let's give it some credence. Last two for your wide-legged hemi. Nice. And then we're going to scooch our foot back towards neutral. You can scooch your back foot in, grab your blocks, tuck your back toes, stand yourself up, Pyramid. A little shorter stance than normal. Inhale, lift up high onto your back toes, pull your front heel back, stay grounded in your back leg today, just so that we can really have that connection to the floor and to our pelvis. The other way is fun and feisty, but it's just a little different feeling. Yeah, cute team, very nice. See if you can soften through your chest and open your collarbones as you work your hamstring. Yeah. If you're noticing tension in your neck or your face as we're working lower body, that's great. Notice it because it's showing you a compensation pattern or an adaptation that your body's that's relative to your leg. If there's tightness in the leg, it can be relative to the upper body, the head, the jaw, the face. So you don't want to know, you just want to notice it. You don't have to try to change it, but be aware of it as you work. Very cool. Okay, that's Basta. Here we go for our feisty moment. You can walk it out a second and then adjust your blanket, pillow, whatever you have going on. Hop your right foot on your ledge, your wedge. Take your left foot back, a little bit shorter stance. Here we go. Lift up onto your left toes. Pull your front heel back, push the ball of your right foot into your wedge and sit your hips back. Now the front knee, I didn't say this on the first side, but I hope you're with me at this point on it. We're never locking our front knee. If you have some softness in the knee, you actually have more access to changing your tissue here. Also playing your angle, right? I'm noticing on this right side, the lateral part of my calf is much tighter than the central part. So I'm just adding an extra plug to the pinky side of my foot, imagining the fluid pumping from the lower leg and moving up. Way to go. And here we are moving the fluid that's not just in the superficial vessels of the lymphatic system. The whole entire ocean network, the ocean fluid network that's residing in your body. So the fluid moving between your circulatory system into the interstitium, into the extracellular matrix, the fluid that bathes all of our tissues, our cells, and our organs. And then that fluid is what moves into the lymphatic vessel. So you're working that whole fluid network when we move our bodies like this. Okay, I feel like that's Basta. Let's take one last forward fold. Move your wedge out of the way. Let your head hang down, soft knees. Extra bend in your right knee. And take a seaweed sway. Plugging down through the ball of your left foot. Final release in the back of the leg. And switch. Finding your right calf by plugging the right ball of foot. Your left knee is bent. Good, and then we'll step it on down. I think we're just at time here, so if you gotta go, you gotta go. And then knees just a little bit wide to the edge of your mat. Not a little bit wide, but bring your knees to the edge of your mat. Start your seat back. Pull your knees forward.
Knees pull forward, hands gently pull back, opening from in the front of the hip crease. Ooh la la, final kidney pose. Gorgeous. And then pull your booty back. One more time. Frog for kidney. Knees pull forward, open through the front of the pelvis. Happy Thursday. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you feel not swollen in your lower legs and lots of fluid flow through here. When you're all prepped to do your lymphatic drainage, if that's something you practice. So I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Monday. Kisses. Have such a good day. Oh, I have a new review thing on the Floss site. So if you guys could go in there and put your reviews in, I would be so grateful. Because right now there's like one test review. It looks a little lonely. So go in there and put your reviews in. You can go on, like if you did the training, you can go on the training part of the page and add it there in the shop, or you can do it on the home page. That'd be very sweet to do that. So I love you, team. Have such a good time today, and I'll see you Monday. Kisses.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
When I'm doing, particularly on this side, like when I'm doing a lot of our hamstring release, sometimes I feel this like sort of snappy, poppy sensation. I feel like, like on this side, the outer side of my knee.
Yeah.
I try to like tense my quad a little bit more and that helps, but is that just because something is so tight, it's like popping against the tendon?
Yes, so that whole chain reaction, you got it. For some reason, this tissue right here around your knee is extra tight. So ease up on your resistance just a little bit and then watch your range. But then you can also start to do, the one on our back where we go very micro like this.
Yeah.
How does that one work for you, Lauren?
Yeah, that one is amazing. I definitely need to do
Yeah.
that like once a day.
So yeah, try doing like 3 in the morning, 3 at night, very gentle. And
Okay.
then see if that starts to let up that yank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally, for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Cool. All right, see you guys. Actually, I got a boogie because I got sessions up north. Love you. Ciao.